When asked what's my favourite city in the UK, I say without hesitation, Edinburgh. Surprisingly, it's home to less than 500,000 people, and back when I was a student, I was one of them. The city is all about fabulous food and delicious drinks. Join me on this adventure as I show you what the city has to offer. This is Olly's Jollies. First up is my tantalising tour of the top 5 places to check out in the city. Trust me, you're going to want to see this. You see, legend has it, this is the best coffee in Edinburgh, if not the world. And after being absolutely soaked in the purest Scottish rain, I think I needed it.
This is a blend of Costa Rican and Ethiopian, and this is the stuff of legends. That is extraordinary. So the legend more than lives up to the flavour. That is an eruption inside my mouth. By the beard of Gandalf. That is the best coffee in the world, isn't it? The thing I love about this place, it's been here for 5 years, and their expertise in blending the Costa Rican and Ethiopian beans, second to none. You know the drill. They grind these extraordinary beans that have been sourced from some of the greatest places in the world, and then they take care in preparing the milk exactly as it should be. Fluffy, creamy, warm, and like a duvet of deliciousness. You've got to get yourself to Cairngorm. Right, lunch.
After a drying off, I think it's time for a Mexican.
El Cartel is one of my favourite places in the world. Now look at this little banquet I've got in front of me. This is a detonation of deliciousness. This is a plantain with holy guacamole, pomegranate, sheep's cheese, beautifully presented. I'm just digging in. If you imagine, right, the happiest thundercloud just came and drenched you in all its joy. That's what that tastes like. Oh, these are called the bombers. Cheesy balls, spicy jalapeno, nigella, and this extraordinary chipotle cream. Oh, this is so punchy. It is like your favourite song playing right the way from your ears through your mind and out the other side. Perfectly judged spice. It's taco time. This is our crunchy deep-fried cod in a taco with pico de gallo and a little bit of that creamy sauce. Like a great big mighty mess of marvellousness. El Cartel, I love you. This is so vibrant, it's delicious. It is time for a drink of my youth. It's the frozen margarita, and they use all sorts of different ingredients, but this, for me, is one of the purest iterations of the drink and one of the best judged. I'm tempted to neck it, but since I know I have a busy day ahead, I probably won't. But I might. Oh, by the tresses of Salma Hayek, that is one of the greatest drinks I've ever tasted in my life. Just the range of flavours in El Cartel is incredible. Great value, finger food, like high impact flavours, super informal, the best if you're out with friends. If you want something a bit more fancy, well, I've just the thing. You can't begin to talk about cooking in Edinburgh without referencing the king. It's Tom Kitchen, and this is the Scran and Scally. I cannot wait to show you what they're cooking up for us inside. Look who I've run into. It's Tom Kitchen. It's so good to see you, it really is.
And you, my friend. Welcome to Edinburgh.
So what have you got cooking?
Ham, egg, and chips.
Oh, God, that couldn't be any more
delightful. A proper classic, but no, unlike any ham, egg, and chips you've ever had before.
You see, there is ham, egg, and chips, and then there's ham, egg, and chips at the Scran and Scally, which will be next level. So what is it that makes a difference? How are you kind of preparing it?
Taking that childhood memory of ham, egg, and chips and totally twisting it. So we've got ham hocks, which we braise really slowly. And then we bring them back together, we pull the meat out, we wrap them up in crepinette, and then we braise them in the ham stock so they're lovely and glacid. Coddled eggs, pineapple relish, and chips.
It's here! Look at this!
Jamesy!
Oh, wow.
Here he is.
Look at this, thank you so much. That presentation, look at it.
I've seen people order this.
Yeah.
And they think they're getting like ham, egg, and chips that they used to get at school dinners.
And
they get it. Well, first of all, they say, why is it that price? And then they get it, and you can see their faces, they're like, oh my goodness.
Honestly.
I mean, I've seen a grown man cry eating that.
I'm welling up, I'm welling up. I can feel like tears of joy. I wish you were here. That is cooked to perfection and so scrumptious, I can't even begin to tell you. I've never had ham, egg, and chips like that in my life. And the wine pairing, Tom, completely spot on.
Yeah. This one is from Bulgaria. Now, I'm sure you've heard of it. The Mavrud.
Yeah,
Really interesting.
Oh, my word. It's a pairing worthy of Santa and Rudolph. You have to taste it. That was epic, absolutely incredible. If you get the chance to visit, this should be top of your list. On to the next place.
Now, for the next slot on my top 5, I wasn't allowed to choose. You see, my producers have well and truly set me up on this one. I have no idea what's behind that door.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. What? Paradise Palms, you're blowing my mind. How long has this been open? Who knew about this and why didn't you tell me? Everywhere's a little booth of naughtiness. It's a kind of inspiring lifestyle temple. Look at it. All of this stuff is a bit wild and it's making me think I could do with a drink. I wonder what's going to be on the bar. Szechuan slipper, right. Lemon juice. Oh, the Szechuan syrup, that'll be the sweet fireworks. Wouldn't mind being kicked in the balls repeatedly by that.
Just another option.
Yes. That cocktail's amazing, but I hear their food is also superb.
I was now dished up an incredible platter of delights. Clearly, the producers like me.
This all looks amazing, and the food in this place is all plant-based. It looks so sumptuous and inviting. I've got some seitan here, I've got some dill slaw, sweet corn, potato salad, buckfast, spicy dip. Come on, come on. That is so scrumptious. The flavours are etched onto my palate. The neon is burnt into my eyeballs. If you're after even more cocktails, there is only one place you can go. I'm here at Lucky Liquor. It is so beautiful for the vibe, but look at this, on the back of the bar, 13 spirits, 13 liquors, they rotate every 13 weeks. So if you come back here, you're always sure you're gonna get something a little bit different. And I've got 2 cocktails here for you. The first one is the Twister, with a bit of strawberry ice cream. I've got some lime sherbet in there, pineapple, lime, salt, and a little bit of mezcal. Oh, I'm going in. Oh my word. I've stepped through the portal into the next dimension. That is delicious. The strawberry blends in with that little smoky touch of mezcal and it just starts to dance. Wow. Next cocktail, Jade Mountain. Now this has one of my favourite spirits in it. Pisco comes from South America, just like a missile, a meteorite, firing purity direct through your eyeballs into the back of your mind. It's got that in it, green curry spices, lucky kummel, lime coconut water, and dry lime soda. And look at it, it's just a heap of goodness in a glass. Flip my wig. You've just elected me to president of my own lifestyle. That is the way to rule the world. What a cocktail! You need to get yourself to Lucky Liquor. You may not be able to taste this one, but you're going to taste something incredible. It's like this thing's doing the waltzer in my brain. That's a delicious drink.
So there we have it, my top 5 things to check out in Edinburgh. But fear not, there's plenty more to come. If you want more of an experience, then look no further than the Scotch whisky experience. I was lucky enough to be shown around by the Queen of Whisky herself, Julie Trevisan-Hunter. And in the next clip, I'm going to be walking into my idea of hell.
My word! I've never seen so many bottles of whisky in my life. This is extraordinary. How many bottles are we looking at?
We have 3,384 individual and unique bottles, all unopened on display.
Well, can't we drink any of them? I mean, there must be 1 or 2 that I can have a look at some of the older ones, surely.
So these are the 2 oldest in the whisky collection here. They date back to the late 1800s and just the turn of the century, the beginning of the 1900s.
Is it possible to have a taste of any of them?
So not these ones.
Yeah.
These are strictly behind glass,
Okay.
but I have got one of our older whiskies, which is a pretty special one that I thought might be nice to raise a dram in the whisky collection.
Am I allowed? I'm going to check with my... They're all nodding. The production team are saying absolutely, dive in. Why not? Well, when in Edinburgh?
So this is our 21-year-old blend that we created for our 21st anniversary, but it's quite unique, quite special, and I think a lovely dram.
Julie, that is alive. People think of whiskey maybe as being heavy. This is a dancing drink. It's a light, bright refresher. What a sumptuous delight. Thank you. Surely you can't have any more bottles than this, though.
We've got a few more around the corner. Do you want to follow me and we'll explore the final part of the clip?
Yes, I love Edinburgh so much. I'm literally living my dream. This is wonderful.
My dream continued with Julie showing me the rest of the Scotch whisky experience, and needless to say, I drank my fair share of drams. Of course, the rest is for you to discover yourself. Once you're suitably sauced, then you'll learn about one of whisky's best pairings, cheese and chocolate.
So Julie, we've tasted a few whiskies now, and I know I need to kind of have a little bit of a nibble just to set myself right. It's been delicious, but how does whiskey pair with food?
My preferred matches are
Yes.
a beautiful Scottish blue cheese and a dark chocolate. So these are my perfect matches with Scotch whisky.
Wow, is there one I should try first?
So let's go for the cheese first. So
I
the
shall.
one in the middle here
Got the
is
whiskey.
A brilliant Highland organic Scottish cheese called Blue Murder,
Great name.
which we have paired with another Highland dram,
Yeah.
which is finished in a port cask.
So, port and cheese.
Absolutely.
That is a revelation. Like, I love blue cheese and I love port, but blue cheese and a whiskey and a port finish, bingo. Absolutely beautiful. Chocolate and whiskey?
Amazing.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you go in my mind for our darker chocolate, so
Okay.
we've gone for dark chocolate here, and it has to be a beautiful, rich, sherry cast finish. And this is a really special Glenmorangie produced in a slightly different way than normal, called the Signet, made with a different kind of mold, and they malt the barley as a coffee mold. And it just gives it that richness and that lovely after dinner coffee character. And I just think that is a match made in heaven.
Shakin' Stevens once wrote a song called Oh Julie, and I'm singing it right now in my head. Julie, you've absolutely delivered the goods there. This is so sumptuous. I've opened my mind onto an even wider world of whiskey than I could have imagined, and I know there's more to see. You guys, you just got to come along and have an experience for yourself. Oh, Julie.
Wasn't that amazing? I mean, I think it's amazing, but I do think there's something missing from the show. Hang on a sec, what could it be?
More booze. Over here, we have a world of gin. It's a boutique style. It's an Edinburgh secret. And through these doors is a place of magical dreams. Where else but Pickering's Gin? Now in here, it's like a centre of engineering, if you see what I mean. We've got a wonderful old motorbike, a mini one over there. Over here, a suitcase packed with booze, ready for world travel. Lush gin laid out over here. I love this quirky little vehicle. Look at it, a van for delivering gin. It's brilliant. And look, gin galore over here. They've got a gramophone set up that can stir your gin. There's even a barrel in the corner that plays music. You could see all this if you came here on the tour, but you know what? I'm going to show you around. Gin of Dreams. Come into this lab. Look, this is where all of the magic happens. You can see, I mean, it is basically like a chemistry lab that's been unleashed in the name of fine flavour. Behind me, you've got all of the different botanicals. That's all the herbs, the spices that go into making gin. And of course, the biggest one will always be juniper. But if you think of the creativity that goes into this and the amount of fun you can have with all of these little stills, all of the blending, all of the natural ingredients, they've left me one here. What have they got? Forget-me-not gin. I shan't forget you because you're blue. That is as silky as a petal. I would like you to meet Emily and Gertrude. These are the stills where the botanicals get steeped in the spirit. In this case, it's made from grain, and that gives a wonderful neutral base for all those flavours to be infused. And as they heat up, they rise as steam through all these amazing copper pipes that thread throughout the entire building. But it's very pokey stuff. When it comes out here, it's clear and it's like 80% proof. It's properly boozy. You've got to dilute that back to get it in the bottle. So behind me here is where the water gets added, and there you begin to talk about what kind of gin you're going to enjoy at home. Here behind me, you can see some of the flavours that go into it. We've got some cloves, we've got some anise, we've got some lime. 1947 gin comes from a recipe from, obviously 1947, from Gopal, who was a friend of Marcus's dad. Now, he actually left the original recipe right here. So take a look. It looks like it's been written on the back of an envelope. But what I love about it is that not much has changed. You've got juniper right at the top, very important in your gin. Here we've got coriander, cloves, anise, fennel, cardamom, lots of other things going on. 1947 gin. Imagine a surge of cardamom. That is such a beautiful spicy gin. It does actually make me think of India, which is where this recipe originated from. What a beautiful glass. I'm going to remember that.
From here, the gin bottles are filled, labelled and packaged up to get sent to my house, of course.
I've had such an inspiring experience across all of the flavours I've had in Edinburgh. I want to make a cocktail that sums up all those values about great ingredients, simplicity and having a fun time. Where am I going to make this cocktail? That's the only question. I think I know just the place.
Situated just behind the Pickering's Gin Distillery is the aptly named Royal Dick Bar.
It's the perfect place for me to create my cocktail. Now this is a south side. So first of all, some fresh mint. Give it a slap. Throw it in your cocktail shaker and then muddle. There's a lot of people who go in there and muddle really hard. You'll bruise it if you go too hard. Gently is the way. You don't need to do too much to it. The bouquet is exceptional. Once you've done that, you need to get in with a little bit of sugar syrup. Now, I don't like mine too sweet, but I do want it there for texture. Now, lemon, slice, squeeze. Ooh, ice, very important. I'm gonna get all this in, then it's time for the headline, which is, of course, 1947. Now, the thing about this gin, it's got a big hit of spice to it. It's sweet. It's very much like, now I'm free pouring, obviously. So as much or as little as you want. I think a little bit more. It's very much kind of sweet and spicy, I was saying, which is quite like me. Time for a shake. It goes on, standing by. Music, please. Halt. Commence. We're good, because my thumbs have just reached freezing point. Now, off comes the top. Present the glass, prepare yourselves, because this is the most delicious drink in the universe. Yes, 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 yes. Now, the only thing left is liquid enjoyment. Here's to Edinburgh and to our 1947 Pickering's Gin. Actually, I know the perfect place to enjoy this. Arthur's Seat. Look at it. The peak of it, the majesty. Now, I would climb up it. Just quite a long way. It's quite high, and I've got a drink in my hand, and maybe you could do it for me next time you come. It's all part of the jolly, isn't it, really? Look, there's someone up there. Is that you? When I think of all the things I've enjoyed today, the whiskey, the people, the vibe, I mean, the place, it's like someone has just had a brilliant dream and made it come to life. And that's what Ollie's Jollies is all about. Cheers.